Unitarian Universalist Church, building community, inspiring growth, creating change. Here in the heart of Kansas City, we come together to create this hour of shared reflection so that we might be renewed in courage for these times and inspired to lives of greater dignity, higher purpose, deeper generosity, and more effective action. If you are new to Unitarian Universalism or to our congregation, we want to get to know you and share a part of your journey. If this place is already your spiritual home, welcome once more. We need one another, and it is good to be together again. Through the gifts of technology, we also gather virtually to celebrate community and connections as we lean into the values of justice, compassion, and reason. Welcome to all those who are joining us in this way today. Together, we learn the love that has the power to overcome both loneliness in the heart and oppression in the world. Welcome to our service this morning. May the words and music and images that we offer today nourish our best selves, calling forth abundant wisdom and love.
Arise, O souls, arise.
Good morning. I'm Beth Andes, a member of All Souls. We are glad that you are here in person or joining us online. Now, I have the pleasure of recognizing those of you visiting us for the very first time. If we have any first-time visitors, please rise or raise your hand. Our ushers have a gift for you, so please wait to sit down or lower your hand until after you have received it. All right. You are welcome here with all the identities you hold and in your fullness as a person. We hope that you bring your whole self to this time together. If you would like to be a part of the All Souls Choir, join us tomorrow, Monday, for practice at 5:30 p.m. right here in Bragg Auditorium. Don't forget to bring your water next week to our next Sunday's water ceremony. Following the service today, there will be an important church chat in Conover on ministerial changes being considered by the Board of Trustees. This is a significant change in the life of All Souls. Your input is needed. Our memorial candle burns today for longtime member Jim Mitchell, who passed away last Sunday. A memorial service for Jim will be held on Saturday, September 30th, here in Bragg Auditorium at 11 a.m.
Good morning, All Souls Unitarian Universalist congregation. It's so great to be here again. Wow. Just feel very familiar. Friends, I tell you that wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. Come to be renewed and centered in that spirit that is beneath and part and moves through in us and around us and between us, and come into that holy presence. So I invite you, this is a participatory sermon day, by the way, and we're going to have a moment of connection in a few moments. So just wanted to give you a heads up. We're talking today about what does it take to stay in the moment, how to live in the present. And I wondered if it wouldn't be too much. I'm going out on a skinny branch on this thing. But you might take a moment when we get the moment connection, to turn to each other and talk about and share a moment when you felt you were staying in the moment. It may have been music, it may have been art, it may have been out in nature, it may have been with people, but think about a time when you were staying in the moment, and we'll have a chance to get some conversation going. Just find somebody to talk to. In the meantime, let us come and be renewed in that spirit. Thank you. Amen.
Here today, in this place, and with these people, may we listen so we may hear. May we hear so we may feel. May we feel so that we can know. And may we know so that we can change ourselves and this world. May this chalice we light our way. Please stand as you are able and join in the affirmation of our covenant, and then remain standing as we join together in song. Together we affirm, goodwill is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
You may be seated. So our friends, this is our moment of connection, and I know some of you folks are watching online, maybe as far away as France. There may be somebody you can talk to wherever you are, and I'm inviting the congregation this morning and I'm going out on a skinny branch on this thing, but think of a moment when you felt like you were just living in the moment, you were just in that moment and everything else sort of faded away and you were just there, just this moment. So take a moment, turn to somebody, maybe somebody you know very well, maybe somebody you don't know very well at all, but take a moment and share with each other a moment when you were staying in the moment. Thank you, my friends. I see you're not a shy congregation. At this time, we invite our children and young people to leave the sanctuary and go to wherever they go, and we will sing a song together.
Go now in peace. May love guide all your ways. Beauty be the blessing of your nights and days. Truth on your lips and kindness in your deeds. Faith to follow where the human spirit leads.
Good morning. I'm Anna Sajovic, and this is Angela Allard, and we are JAN, the Justice Action Network here at All Souls. If you get a chance, stop by the Justice table in the lobby after church and find out more about JAN. Our mission is to engage, educate, and advocate for all the justice efforts being made by the justice teams and members of All Souls.
The All Souls Board and ministers have generously agreed to begin the Share the Plate program again, where once a month there will be a special offering to support organizations and teams that are doing justice work in the Kansas City area. To make a donation today for the Hunger Outreach Team, you'd write special offering on your check, or if you're donating online, select the special offering on the drop-down menu. Or you could pull out your phone right now, even though you were told to turn it off, you could pull it out and text to 816-623-2023, and you type in your amount and HOT, and your donation will be gratefully received.
Let us introduce one of our hardworking HOT team members, Lanisa Robinson.
Thank you. There are a lot of people who could be standing here right now asking you to once again give to your hunger outreach team. But I get to do it today because it's my birthday. HOT, we have a few small projects we do, but our primary focus is on helping to serve up to 600 meals every week to anyone who is in line at Washington Square Park. We launch from church on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. This morning, I want to focus on two ingredients of our success. The first is sandwich baggies. Each baggie costs just over 2 cents. It is not uncommon for us to use over 600 a week. We know it's not an environmentally sound choice. And we are very open to alternatives. But we have specific needs, and so far, we feel stuck. Anyway, a handful of sandwich baggies or the equivalent donation would make an awesome birthday present for anyone on the HOT team. As many of us who have done any kind of human services work knows, this can be really tough work. It's one thing to hear that a person has died on the streets during a heat wave and wonder, how or why did that happen? It's another thing to hear it and have your first thought be, who? It's one thing to lie awake and wonder if the shelters were able to accommodate everyone on a bitter cold winter night. It's another to stay up obsessed over techniques used by extreme mountain climbers because you know Griffin may not choose to come out of the cold even once this winter. But we on HOT get up and we cook the next meal and the next. And we can do it because of the second ingredient I want to talk about. And that's the fact that you are here. You keep the lights on, the parking lot paved, our children nurtured, our lives enriched with conversation and friendship. You gather together in person and online and remind us that we are not alone. You let me sing off-key, and you let me stand here on my birthday and ask for sandwich baggies. As Anna and Angela reminded you, if you're donating electronically, pull down HOT or special offerings in the drop-down menu. The offering will now be gratefully received.
Please join me as we speak the dedication of the offering. We dedicate our offerings and our actions to the mission at the heart of this congregation, to build a respectful, caring community, to inspire personal and spiritual growth, and to create change toward a just and compassionate society.
The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light for the time I rest in the grace of the world and am free.
Mornings at Blackwater by Mary Oliver. For years, every morning I drank from Blackwater Pond. It was flavored with oak leaves and also, no doubt, the feet of ducks. And always it assuaged me from the dry bowl of the very far past. What I want to say is that the past is the past, and the present is what your life is, and you are capable of choosing what that will be, darling citizen. So come to the pond, or the river of your imagination, or the harbor of your longing, and put your lips to the world, and live your life.
Oh, heavenly day, all the clouds blew away, got no trouble today with anyone. The smile on your face, I live only to see. It's enough for me, oh yeah, it's enough for me. Oh, heavenly day, heavenly day, heavenly day. Tomorrow may rain with sorrow. Here's a little time we can borrow. Forget all the troubles in these moments so few. Only the right now, the only thing, all that we really, really need to do is have ourselves a heavenly day. Lay here and watch the trees sway. see no other way, no way, no way. Heavenly day, heavenly day, heavenly day. No one at my shoulder bringing me fears. Got no clouds up above me bringing me tears. Got nothing to tell you, I got nothing much to say. Only I'm glad to be here with you on this heavenly, 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 heavenly day. All of the troubles gone away, oh yeah. For a while anyway, for a while. Heavenly day, heavenly day, heavenly day, heavenly day. Ooh.
Friends, I want you to know my wife gave me that song on a CD 10 years ago on my birthday. My birthday was on Thursday. And so to have you sing it, Shanna, thank you for that gift. Let's just take a moment to breathe and breathe out all the anxiety of the world and breathe in the freshness of God's grace. But take a moment to kind of inhale peace and exhale gratitude. Just a moment to breathe. Inhale peace, exhale gratitude. Amen. So maybe you've already answered this. Can you think of a moment when you stayed in the present? When you, in your own way, drank from Blackwater Pond, flavored with oak leaves and no doubt the feet of ducks? Can you think of a moment when a song bubbled up inside of you, a song that sang something like this? Got nothing to tell you, I've got nothing much to say, only glad to be here with you on this heavenly, heavenly, heavenly day. Or maybe in your own way, a moment when you came into the presence of still water and you were able to rest in the grace of the world. A moment when you were not cogitating or agitating or ruminating about the past or obsessing or fretting about the future. You were just in this moment, in this present moment. Today I'm going to have lunch with my granddaughters. Did I tell you I have granddaughters in Kansas City? My youngest is Violet, age 6, and when Violet talks to you, she doesn't just talk, she gesticulates, and she spins around, and she dances, and she rolls her eyes. And she's telling you, Papa, I live in the moment. But it's not easy for many of us to always live in the moment. We're afraid to let go. We might get disappointed. There's a story, Irish story, about a man named Paddy McGarity. And Paddy McGarity bemoaned all the circumstances of his life. And then one glorious sunshine day, the sun burst through the clouds and the rain and the fog and the dreariness of Ireland, and there was this beautiful day, and the priest came and saw Paddy McGarity and said, "Paddy, isn't it a beautiful day?" Well, Patty looked at the priest and said, "Hey, Father, but will it last?" And of course, Patty's right. As we know in Kansas and Missouri, it doesn't last, it changes. Nothing lasts forever. I turned 71 on Thursday, I know that. But Patty may be right about the weather, but he's wrong about life. He's unable to stop and rest in the grace of the world, and he can't stop and rest in the grace of the world because he cannot trust in the grace of the world. It is not easy to live in the moment, my friends. And so what I am learning from the mystics and the contemplatives and people like Richard Rohr, who is a Franciscan contemplative, is that to live in the moment is a discipline. It is a practice. It is a call to stay awake. Jesus in the Gospel of John calls us to stay awake. The word Buddha means literally just keep awake. But it is not easy to stay awake, my friends. It's a discipline, it's a practice. And so this morning I want to invite you to join me to think about what it means to stay in the moment. And I want to suggest to you 3 verbs. Maybe every sermon talk has 3 points. These are 3 verbs. Number 1 is let go. Number 2 is trust. And number 3 is choose. Let go, trust, choose. I see these as signposts on the path to living in the moment. Let go. Detach, detach, detach. How often in our lives, if you're like me, we struggle, our minds are never at rest, they're constantly working and cogitating and agitating and obsessing about things that happened to us, and somebody said such and such to us, and we think about it over and over again. The Buddhists talk about this as a monkey mind. A monkey mind, which is like there's these monkeys inside our brains, and they're just jumping up and down all the time. And they especially like to jump up and down in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning, when all we want is rest. All we want is rest. It's times like that that I concentrate on my breathing, just as I shared with you this morning. Just focus on your breath. Inhale peace, exhale gratitude. Help me come live in this moment. That's why yoga is so important, because it's a discipline, a practice of helping us live in the moment. Rest. But being able to let go all depends on being able to trust. Trust that there is what I call a spirit underneath everything that's part of all life. Teilhard de Chardin, the paleontologist and theologian, once said, "We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience." So the contemplatives and the mystics have an image for what it means to trust in the spirit of the world. And that image is the image of water. That there is a river of life that runs through all of us, in the prophet Ezekiel's words. That there's a wellspring of water that rises up inside of all of us. And I understand next Sunday you're all going to bring different parts of water from your lives and bring it together and create this one beautiful pool, this river of water together as a community. Water is an image of the Spirit, that Spirit that runs through all of us. And the book of Revelation talks about the river of life flowing with crystal water. So think of our lives as this river underneath everything that connects us with all that is, that connects us. It's a oneness that's part of all creation. this water that flows and spills over. I like to think of it as love, infinite love pouring out and spilling over in our lives. Now, friends, some people say that that river, that water of life is the love of God, but if that is not comfortable language for you, that's okay. It doesn't matter what you call it. You can call it the ground of being. You can call it the Great Spirit. You can call it all that is. It doesn't matter. It matters less what you call it and more your relationship to it, if you catch what I mean. And so what mystics like Richard Rohr say is that no matter what happens in your life, there is always this riverbed of mercy in his words that underlie all the ephemeral flotsam and jetsam of your life, that underneath all the stuff that keeps happening in our lives, all that stuff in our monkey brain that comes and goes, underneath that is this riverbed of life that connects you with all that is. And we dip our toe in that riverbed of life in and through different ways. Sometimes it's through art, sometimes it's through music. Sometimes, it's often, and we're talking and sharing today, it's about experiences in nature, where suddenly you're getting in touch with that sense of that spirit that connects all that is. And sometimes, sad to say, but truthfully, it is moments of hardship and sorrow that sometimes break us open, and we sense that great river of life that connects us with all that is. One of my favorite quotes comes from a woman named Eddy Hillesum. Eddy Hillesum was a Dutch woman. She was a mystic, and she lived in Holland in 1942 under Nazi occupation. The Nazis, along with so many Jews, she was rounded up and put on a train and sent to Auschwitz, where she was killed. She lived through the most horrendous experience of suffering and hardship. But you know, there was something in Eddy Hillesum deep in the heart of it, that none of this touched her because she was in touch with this river of life. In fact, she wrote in her journal these words. She said, "I share many sorrows and sad circumstances that a human being can experience, but I do not cling to them. I do not prolong such moments of agony. They pass through me like life itself, as a broad, eternal stream. They become part of that stream, and life continues." You see, Eddy Hillesum was able to let go, detach. She was able to trust in the presence of this great spirit, this river of life, and she was able to choose how she looked at her reality. You know that's true. We can choose how we see things in every moment. The truth is that what we see and how we see are very connected. It's the lens of our eyes. It's not just what we see, but it's how we see it. It's what's going on inside of us that's really important. And what I want to suggest this morning, my friends, is if we could get in touch with that place where we can see in a new way, in a fresh way, that maybe the most important thing that we can see in a new way are people. How do we see people in a fresh and a new way? It's one thing to drink from the Spirit at Blackwater Pond, flavored with oak leaves and no doubt the feet of ducks. But it's quite another to drink of the Spirit and see in a new way when you're standing in line at the DMV and there's a surly, snarky person in front of you. You know, somebody once said, "I love humankind. It's human beings I can't stand." How then do we see in a new way in those moments. How often it is that we carry judgments about people, how they look and how they talk and how they act, and we are unable to see them in a new and a fresh way because of all the baggage we bring to that moment and to that person. If only we could see a person and imagine for just a moment there must be carrying something in their heart. They must be carrying a heavy burden too. If only we could get to that place and appreciate them for who they are. Only if we could see them for real. For real. There's a wonderful play. 2 weeks ago we did a play, and now we're doing another play. This is a play by Richard Nash called The Rainmaker. It debuted on Broadway in 1954, and it tells the story of a family that live in depression and drought in the western part of the United States. Their cattle are dying. The play was turned into a movie, and the lead was played by Katharine Hepburn across from Burt Lancaster. Maybe some of you have seen it. But there's a man who comes, his name is Starbuck, and the man is kind of a swindler, a con artist, and he promises that for $100 he can make it rain. He's a dreamer, but he's not in touch with reality. And there's a scene in the play, The Rainmaker, where Lizzie, this is Katharine Hepburn's role, is looking and staring at Starbuck, and this is what she tells him. She says, "Some nights I'm in the kitchen washing the dishes and Pop's playing poker with the boys. Well, I'll watch him real close. And at first, I'll just see an ordinary middle-aged man. Not very interesting to look at. And then, minute by minute, I'll see things I never saw in him before. Good things and bad things, queer little habits I have never noticed that he had. Ways of talking I never paid any mind to. And suddenly I know who he is. And I love him so much I could cry. And I want to thank God I took the time to see him real. I want to thank God I took the time to see him real." What would it be, my friends, if we could live in the moment and take time to see people for real? What if every soul, all the souls who walked through the door of 4501 Walnut in Kansas City, Missouri, we were able to see them for real? What if we could let go of our judgments of the past? If we could trust in the presence of the Spirit, then could we choose to see people as they really are, see them as a fellow creature on the journey? What if? What if we could see people for real? What if we could be in the moment, this moment, and everything else falls away? What if in our own way, we are drinking from Blackwater Pond, flavored with oak leaves and the feet of ducks, no doubt? What if we are in the midst of a heavenly day where we sing, "I got nothing much to tell you, got nothing much to say, only glad to be here with you on this heavenly, heavenly, heavenly day"? What if we came into the presence of still water, as Wendell Berry suggests, and we could rest in the grace of the world? Then would we be free? Amen.
Please rise as you are able and join in singing "Just as Long as I Have Breath."
friends, go forward from this place and say yes. Say yes to love and say yes to life. And not only might you remember the people that have helped you live in the moment and be in the present, like my granddaughter Violet, age 6, who I'm going to see in a few moments, but realize that we are asked also to be those that help others live in the present. Help them say yes to life. Whose life are you going to light up today? Whose life are you going to bring sunshine in the midst of the gloom, so they too can say yes to life and they can stay in the moment? May the great spirit of the earth and may the spirit of life, everything that grounds and underneath you, may that river of life sustain you and strengthen you and fill you with love this day and all the days to come. Amen.